Hey guys, welcome back here to another video. So today we're going to be deep diving into the Ultra League. So I'm running a anti-Polyvrath, anti-Skeledirge, anti-Dragon team which is Tapu Fini, Tentacruel and Giratina Altered. This team is really good. So hopping on to the first battle, we have Tapu Fini on the lead versus the Dragonite. Now this is why I built this team because Dragonites are just everywhere. And now this is a really good lead because Dragonites, every moveset is resisted on the Tapu Fini and we're going to be doing a lot of super effective damage with the Moonblast. So I'm going to be building up to the Surf here, but my opponent makes a great swap onto the Ampharos. And I come in with the Giratina Altered just to see my opponent is not able to attack and he even surrendered. Now that's really a weird game. I don't know why. So that's not an ideal start, but we're going to be hopping into the second one. We have Tapu Fini on the lead versus once again another Dragonite. This time not the Shadow around. So I'm going to be going and building to the Moonblast, but they decide to throw their energy. This is going to be just a Dragon Claw or a superpower from the Dragonite. So this is a superpower, which is okay, and they're going to swap into the Poliwrath. So they are completely core broken by the Tapu Fini here, and I'm going to swap onto the Tentacruel to cast the charge move of Icy Wind, I guess. Yep, it is the Icy Wind, which is completely resisted. And now, for your matter, I'm running Sludge Wave on my Tentacruel. It's really good because it gives you that added coverage because Acid Spray doesn't do much of a damage. It is just a debuff move. So Sludge Wave is going to do a lot of neutral damage in this situation. I'm going to get this Poliwrath where I can farm down with Poison Jabs, and even at the same time I can have a Sludge Wave ready to go on the Dragonite if it decides to come in. That's the idea of what I'm thinking here. So I'm gonna commit to that hard farm down, but they actually swap onto the Dragonite. I swap onto the Tapu Fini once again, banking the Sludge Wave, and I'm gonna throw the Moonblast straight away, only to get the Dragonite out of the equation. That's it. See ya, Dragonite. See ya. And in the back they have Skeledirge. This is so common. Come on. Tapu Fini absolutely core brokes every Skeletor stream, Dragonite teams, and even the Poliwrath teams as well. So that's the reason why it is just so good, and it has raised it to the expectations of the people's choices as well. So I'm gonna go again for the Surf, making sure that I get the second shield of this game. And remember, I have the Scald as well banked on the Tentacruel. They swap onto the Poliwrath. I'm okay with this. They are just dumping their energy. This is gonna be a very safe situation here because I still have my Tentacruel, which has a Scald ready to go in the back. I can easily swap onto that and throw the Scald straight away. Since even though if Skeledirge wanted to CMP time me, we had a shield, it was completely fine, and Scald takes down the Skeledirge. So it is hyper meta team, and with this team, I actually hit veteran last season. It's really good. So Tapu Fini on the lead versus Cursalia now. Cursalia can be a huge core breaker to this team if it's running Future Sight. So I'm going to swap onto the Giratina straight away, only to find out that they had a Steelix in the back. Now, Steelix is not common as it was last season. So seeing Steelix on my opponent's side actually kind of surprised me. So they're going to go ahead and throw the Breaking Swipe as well. But this time they do not get the debuff. And all I can do with the Giratina Altered here is just to do resisted damage onto the Steelix, making sure it I can get it at least to 50% because this is obviously the losing matchup because Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe just adds on. And I think they're committing to the farm down as well. This is likely from the Steelix, so they're gonna have the Earthquake ready to go in the back. So Giratina Altered is trying his best to actually chunk down the Steelix, but it's not possible. So here I'm gonna come in with the Tapu Fini once again. I think I'm gonna let the first move go through here. Yes, I'm gonna let the first move go through, which is the Breaking Swipe. Now this is a really big call on my end, and now I'm gonna go ahead and shield because they have still the energy for the Earthquake, and they do send the Earthquake. Now that was really crucial because now I can commit to the farm down because as they'll not get to another Earthquake in time, and if the Cursalia swaps back in, I can swap onto the Tentacruel as well. So this is really big for us. Now if the Cursalia is running Future Sight, it's really gonna be very tough for us. I'm gonna go ahead and swap onto the Tentacruel to cast the charge move, but they actually wait a turn and now throw the energy. But if it's a Future Sight, which it is a Future Sight, now this is really, it's gonna add up because Future Sight does incredible amount of damage to the Tentacruel in this situation, and Scald hoping to get the debuff, and we do get the debuff, which is beautiful here. Now I need to shield my Tentacruel, and now they go for the Grass Knot. Now this is super unfortunate because I'm out of shields, and they also have a Talonflame in the back. Now, ideally, I could have shielded the first move, which was likely to be the Future Sight. They let go the Scald, but I guess the Talonflame with two shields, I think it even has Brave Bird or Fly or whatever. I think they're gonna take it. There's not a lot that I can do, and they even have Brave Bird as well, so there's not a lot I can do because they still have two shields and a Cursalia, and they have the move as well ready to go. So Future Sight Cursalia are pretty tough to deal with if there is not a good alignment, especially on our side. But Moonblast and Future Sight is something we can handle instead of Grass Knot. Once again, we do have a Cursalia on the lead here against the Tapu Fini, so I'm going to swap straight away onto the Giratina Altered, but this time my opponent is not swapping out. And they build it up to the Moonblast. I'm going to go ahead and respect it. Yes, they're going to go ahead and throw the Moonblast, and now they're going to swap onto the Jellicent. Now, Jellicent is a really good answer for the Giratina Altered if it swaps back pretty early. Because now I'm going to get all this energy in the world. I still have one more Dragon Claw which is ready to go, and these Shadow Claws actually going to add up. See, we already got the Jellicent around 50%, which is completely nice. I'm gonna let go the Shadow Ball because it's not gonna be enough to KO, and I know I can win the race to double Dragon Claws, and with the added Shadow Claws damage, we're gonna take down this Jellicent, and they need to get the shield. Now this is a Surf hindsight, and I decided to shield. Now this was a pretty risky call from my end, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to have switch advantage on my Pokemon, and now we got a Virizion here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Dragon Claw, which is completely okay. But the main thing here is if I knew that they had a Virizion in the back, I would have shielded the Shadow Ball in the first place. So now I'm gonna come in with the Tentacruel straight away because I wanted Giratina to my safe swap since I do not have two shields. I want to have something like a third shield preserved in the back. They're coming back with the Cursalia. Now if it's Future Sight Cursalia, it's not gonna be looking good, seriously. But if it's a Grass Knot, Tentacruel can handle because Moonblast and Grass Knot both are resisted. Grass Knot is neutral, but again, it's a Future Sight Cursalia, so it's just a good game. We are just core broken by the Cursalia here once again. So there's not a lot that I can do again here because Moonblast for neutral, Future Sight for super effective against the Tentacruel. So that's the reason I just top left. There's nothing I can do. They had two shields as well. But there are battles as well where I won with the Cursalia, which is running Grass Knot and Moonblast. So we have Giratina on the lead versus a Tapu Fini this time around. So they're going to swap onto the Moltres. This is a Galarian Moltres. Now this is a very spicy pick from my opponent. And I don't know why did they even swap Moltres in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and shield it. It's a Brave Bird. I'm going to come in with the Tentacruel here because Tentacruel does really good with the neutral Poison Jab here against the Flyers. And even Brave Bird as well, we can easily tank it. But I see that Moltres is actually kind of thick. You cannot palm it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the Scald. And we're going to have the alignment. And they actually come in with the Galarian Stunfisk. Now this is not good for the Galarian Stunfisk because we have Giratina Altered, which can completely resist, and we also get the Scald. They cannot... Do they get the farm down here? Oh, they do get the farm down here. Just one Poison Jab away, unfortunately. So I'm going to come in with the Giratina Altered to soak the charge moves here from the Galarian Stunfisk because it's not going to hurt too much. So I'm going to go ahead and they're going to swap onto the Giratina Altered. I'm completely fine with this because we are ahead on energy in this situation, and I'm going to swap onto the Tapu Fini, and I'm going to send the Moonblast straight away. I am not messing around when it comes to situations like this. We do get the shield here, which is completely okay. And note to remember, this is a Dragon Breath Giratina Altered as well. Now, if it's running Dragon Breath, it's not doing any type of like fast move pressure is not there on my Tapu Fini, and I'm going to go ahead and throw the Moonblast once again in this scenario, hoping to get the final shield from the Giratina Altered, which is completely fine, and still have a shield remaining, and we have a Galarian Stunfisk in the back, which Tapu Fini does well. But they make a very interesting swap. They swap onto the Tapu Fini, they swap onto the Galarian Stunfisk, but they get to the Rock Slide in time. Now this is quite tricky as well because Rock Slide is going to take down my Tapu Fini, and now I have a decision to make. Because I know Earthquake doesn't KO from this range, I need to commit to the full farm down against the Galarian Stunfisk. Even though it's an Earthquake, it's fine, we can tank it. And 2 Dragon Claws is enough to take down the Giratina Altar from this range. Since they dumped their energy, they're not going to have another one, and Giratina Altar is going to seal this game. So that was perfect amount of farm down range for the Giratina Altered, and it seals us the game, which is completely good. So really good team. Do try it, and I'm going to see you in the next video.